Hello Year 4, I'm Miss Baker and this is your third art lesson of our pop art project. So last week we looked at this artist here called Lichtenstein and we started to create some artwork using this template. We applied patterns to this template and we made sure that we were really careful and accurate. We followed instructions. And as always, we tried our best. So, what we're going to do today is we are going to be adding pop art colours to the template that we have here. So last week we used a pencil and a ruler to make sure that our patterns were very, very accurate. We even got things like pens and used the pen lids to create our circles so that they were really, really neatly drawn, and we used our ruler to create grids so that the circles were separated with equal measurements. So if we just go back to our PowerPoint here and we look at these images by Lichtenstein, we can see that he actually used primary colours. So we've got yellow, blue and red here. And again, in this image by Lichtenstein, lots of blue, red and yellow. So we're definitely going to be using those bold pop art colours in our piece. And you can also use other pop art colours if you like to. So you might want to go for colours like a bright green or an orange. So I'm going to begin by adding some colour to this pop art pattern here on the headband. So I think I'm going to begin with a red. So, like in previous lessons, what we're going to do is going to start by drawing our outline. This means that we're not going to go outside the lines. Now you have to do this freehand because this is a curved shape. And then we go on the side of our pencil and do circular motion, so we've got a nice smooth effect. Then I'm going to do the same to this shape down here, border. Then I kind of make my border a bit thicker, side of the pencil, circular motion, and finally the same with this shape. Great. Then what I might do is I'm going to add a bit of blue in between. So again, so that we don't go outside the lines, we'll draw our border first. And then we'll use the side of our pencil and circular motion to make that border a bit thicker. And really relax as we apply tone to the middle. And then I'm going to add a very small amount of blue down there and up here again. Still do my border. So I've got a lovely striped pattern there using our two primary colours. Then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my other primary colour, which is yellow, to add some colour to her hair. I'm going to do it in yellow. So again, do my border first, and I've got a curved pattern that we drew last week. So this is where I'm going to use a bit of my orange, which is another pop art colour. Maybe not as commonly used by the artist Lichtenstein, but it's still a pop art colour, so we can still use it today. And you can see I'm still doing my border. And then I'm going to finish this actually curve off here, and then do this next section in yellow. So it's kind of creating a striped effect, but using colours that we might associate with her. And keep on making sure that I do my borders first. And then this little segment of hair here, I'm going to, again, start off with my border. And then fill that in with a nice light tone of yellow. And then I'm going to try a little bit of colour blending. So I'm going to use a little bit of orange. And just at this end here, I do my border. If you've got a straight line like this, you can actually use your ruler to help you with that border. And then I'm going to add a bit of orange there, pressing quite hard on my pencil, and then add another little bit of orange, but this time pressing a bit lighter. Still using circular motion on the side of my pencil, and then another little bit, even lighter this time. So now I've got some lovely colour blending, and that could also be called tone. So I think I will continue with applying colour to the hair a little later, because I want to show you now what you could do to the eyes. Okay, so eyes, we've drawn that pattern using a ruler. So we're going to go over the edges with our blue colour using a ruler. So it's still creating a border. And then I'm going to fill that section in. I'll zoom in a bit more for you. With that bold blue. And then what I'm going to do is make sure I've got a sharp pencil, because this area is quite small, so I need a super sharp pencil. I'm going to do another border, but using a slightly lighter shade of blue now. So in between those stripes that we've done, I'm going to do a lighter shade of blue. Okay. And then I'm going to start adding some colour to the lips and the face. So with these circles, I'm going to do them using a pink. Now again, maybe not necessarily a Lichtenstein colour, but pink is definitely a pop art colour, particularly this, because it's a really bright pink. So because this shape is circular, we can't use our ruler to do the border. so we just have to do it freehand, really, really slowly. Alternatively, what you could do is get the pen lid that you used to draw the circle last week, place it very carefully and exactly on top of that circle, and then draw around it using your pink pencil, so you've created the border. But for accuracy, I actually prefer to do it freehand. Because you have to get it really spot on. So I'm still using that circular motion on the side of the pencil. What that means is you get a really, really smooth effect. Then I'm going to apply same colour to this circle, again border, but I don't have to do all of the circle this time. I'm going to do this one. Get on the side of your pencil so it creates a really nice smooth finish. So I'm going to do all of these circles like Liechtenstein would have done, just in one colour. You could mix them, you could do different colours, but I prefer to do them just in one colour. So I will continue that pink tone throughout all the circles. But for now, I'm going to go to the lips. And I think I'm going to use red on the lips. So doing all my borders first. I'm going quite quickly. It's going to take you a bit longer. So I'm going to have some dark shades of red there. And then in between, I might go for a pink border. And I can use my ruler on the edges because they're a nice straight line. And then on this side, I think I'm going to have the in-between parts of these circles in a bold red colour. So I'm having to do this by hand, freehand. And then I might do a very, very light shade of pink in here. Again, still doing my border. I think I'll do the inside. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that because I think that might be her teeth. So I'm going to leave that white. So we've covered most aspects of this. I'm not going to complete it now because I want you to spend time actually doing the artwork, not just watching me. But I do need to figure out what I'm going to do in terms of colour on this pattern down here. Now, we've used all of these colours here. So we've got some warm colours, warm pop art colours here, and then some cool pop art colours. So I think I'm going to choose another cool pop art colour, which would be a green. And I'm going to do that on the checkered pattern. Now again, my pencil's a little bit blunt, so I'm going to give that a quick sharpen. And then I'm going to use my ruler to start drawing around those little squares. Not all of them. I'm going to miss out some of them. I'm just going to do every other square. And then I'll either do the remaining square using a lighter shade of green, or I might leave it white. But I'm just going to do one section of it first to see what it looks like. So I'll zoom in slightly. So I quite like that. And now I'm going to get my other shade of green. And do the other little boxes using the lighter shade of green. So I quite like that effect. Only thing I might do is make these boxes just a little bolder. I've already done my border, so I don't need to do that again, because I'm just making them a slightly bolder, and I'm quite happy with that effect. Right, so I'm going to zoom out for a minute, and now you can see the progress that we've made. Maybe just a bit further out. Okay, so you can see how it's all starting to come together. I might just do one more example of how to show tone and colour mixing on the hair. So maybe if we start off at this section here, and we'll fill in our border. I can use my ruler at the top here. And then I'm going to do my border all the way around. And then fill that in the light yellow tone. And then I think at the top here I'm going to add a little bit of orange, probably to about there. You can do whatever colour you like for the hair. You might decide to do it a really wacky colour of green, and maybe do some colour blending of green and blue. You can be as experimentative and playful as you like. The only rule is to be accurate and to use pop art colours. So no colours like brown or grey, or even black, because we've got plenty of black here. Just stick to bright, bold colours. And if you're not sure, you can Google pop art colours, or you just stick to primary colours, which are red, blue and yellow, and then secondary colours, which are green, orange and purple. So I've got a nice bit of colour blend in there, and it shows tone because it's going from light to dark. You could even, if you wanted to be even a bit more adventurous, you could even add a touch of red to the top there, because red blends really well into orange. So on the top there, you can have a little bit of red. Okay. So, as you can see, girls and boys, I've completed a little bit more of my pop art image for you. So what I've actually done is I've added some yellow tone to the hair, and then, as I showed you before, I've applied a bit of orange and then laid over with a little bit of red. So we've got some really nice colour blend in there. And I've got some darker blue and lighter blue tones in this corner. And I completed my circles and I completed my little green checkered pattern down here. Finally, girls and boys, the last thing you might want to do is to get your rubber, and now you've finished adding your circular pattern to your face, you can get your rubber and rub out any lines that formed your grid that you no longer need. You don't have to do this, but you may wish to get rid of them. And that is what I require you to do for this week's lesson. So good luck, and I look forward to seeing the results of your efforts. I'm just finishing rubbing out any obvious grid lines, but because we actually did draw them fairly lightly, this is not too much of a big effort. And there we go. That's the end result. Thank you very much, girls and boys, and speak to you soon.